Okay, before we start today's lesson, I want to look at comparing things only by saying that they are shorter. Okay, so if we're going to start with the shortest object, we would need to start with the screw. And then if we look at what's next, looks like this twist tie is shorter than this pen. So we could say the screw is shorter than the blue twist tie, and the blue twist tie is shorter than the black pen. So, which is the longest then? It's the pen. So, the pen is the longest, the twist tie is in the middle, and the screw is the shortest. So we're going to be using those same ideas in today's lesson, which is lesson 9.2. And that lesson can be found on page 519. So in order to complete this, we've been given 3 different clues. And they're asking us to draw a yellow string, a red string, and a blue string. So I've got my 3 markers here. If you just want to draw it with a pencil, that's totally fine as well. So the first thing we see is a yellow string is shorter than a blue string. The next clue is the blue string is shorter than a red string. And clue number 3 is the yellow string is shorter than the red string. Okay, so let's first start by thinking about what is going to be the longest. So it looks like both the blue and the yellow string are shorter than the red string. Okay, so let's make that one the longest. Then we see the blue string is shorter than a red string. Okay, so if the blue string is shorter than a red string. And then clue number 1 says a yellow string is shorter than a blue string. So that looks like it's going to be the shortest. So something that I want you to notice is that I read all the clues and then I thought through them. So I didn't just start drawing as soon as I started reading the clues. Let's turn the page. Okay, this says, use the clues. Write shorter or longer to complete the sentence. Then draw to prove your answer. Clue number 1 says, a green pencil is longer than an orange pencil. Clue number 2 says, the orange pencil is longer than a brown pencil. So the green pencil, and you would fill in, is longer than the brown pencil. So they've got orange already here for us. So let's take a look. Okay, so going back to that, we see a green pencil is longer than an orange pencil. Okay, so we've got our green pencil, and then we see the orange pencil is longer than a brown pencil. So remember, if it's longer, it's going to take a longer distance to go from here to the end. So we've got our brown pencil, and it's going to be not quite as long. So we see the brown pencil is shorter than the orange pencil, and the orange pencil is shorter than the green pencil. Okay, let's move on to the next one. This one says, use the clues. Write shorter or longer to complete the sentence. Then draw to prove your answer. Clue number 1 says, a red line is shorter than a blue line. Clue number 2 says, the blue line is shorter than a purple line. So, let's think about it. So we've got the red line is shorter than the blue line, and the blue line is shorter than the purple line. So if red is shorter than blue, and blue is shorter than purple, red must be shorter than both of them. So we'll write that in. So red is shorter than the purple line. Okay, then we'll draw to check our work. Got red, blue, and purple. Okay, so let's check. The red line is shorter than the blue line. I agree. The blue line is shorter than the purple line. I also agree. Okay, come over here. So this section is on your own. So I will read you the questions, and then you can pause it and work on it by yourself. Analyze relationships. Use the clues. Write shorter or longer to complete the sentence. Then draw to prove your answer. Clue number 1. A green line is shorter than a pink line. Clue number 2. The pink line is shorter than a blue line. So the green line is, you fill it in, than the blue line. Here we see green, pink, and blue. If you look at number 3, it says clue number 1. An orange line is longer than a yellow line. Clue number 2. The yellow line is longer than a red line. So the orange line is, you fill it in, than the red line. Here we have red, yellow, and orange. All right, you can pause the video here and then start back up when you finish this page to check your answers. Okay, let's look back at number 2. So, remember we said a green line is shorter than a pink line, and the pink line is shorter than a blue line. So, we see that the pink line is shorter than a blue line. Is the blue line shorter than anything? No, so it must be the longest, okay? Then we have the pink line is shorter than the blue line. Okay, we see that here. And then a green line is shorter than a pink line. So the green line is shorter than the blue line. And we can see that here. Okay, let's move on to number 3. An orange line is longer than a yellow line. The yellow line is longer than a red line. Okay, so the orange line is longer than the yellow line, which is longer than the red line. So the orange line must be longer than the red line. Okay, let's turn the page. Okay. The ribbon is longer than the yarn. The yarn is longer than the string. The yarn and the pencil are the same length. Draw the lengths of the objects next to their labels. Okay, so this one is a little bit trickier. So, the ribbon is longer than the yarn. Okay, so we know that this will be longer than this. The yarn is longer than the string, and we see that the yarn and the pencil are going to be the same length. So I'm just going to draw lines for this one. Okay, I'm going to use my purple pen so it's a little easier to see. Okay, so we see that the ribbon is longer than the yarn. Does it say anywhere in here that anything is longer than the ribbon? I don't see that. So the ribbon is longer than the yarn is longer than the string, and the yarn and the pencil are the same length. Okay, so the ribbon is longer than the yarn, so that looks like the longest because nothing is longer. Then we see the yarn is going to be longer than the string, and the yarn and the pencil are the same length. So it looks like the ribbon is longer than the yarn, which is the same length as the pencil. And then the yarn is longer than the string, so the string is going to be the shortest. Okay. So down here, it says, is the first line longer than the second line? Choose yes or no. So in this one, is the first line longer? That's going to be the blue line. Is it longer than the green line? I would say so. This one's this big. This one's only that big. So yes, the first one is longer. So we're going to fill in yes. Okay. Then in number 2, is the first line longer than the second line? Yeah, it's all the way out here. Green line's only that long. So yes again. But in this last one, it looks like this green line is way longer than the first one. So we're going to say no. All right. Over here, this is your homework. You can work on this and send me a picture, and I'll check it over for you. Have a great day.